here at the Delta Center, warming up for their short program. And hi again, everyone. I'm Terry Gannon, joined now by Olympic champions Dick Button and Peggy Fleming. And by the way, it's only 31 years to the day since Peggy won her Olympic gold medal in Grenoble, France. Seems like yesterday.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been that many years. It's gone by very fast. 31
years. Anyway, now, we've seen some young faces in the ice dancing competition already. Some familiar names here in the pairs, but a couple of young teams that are looking to move up to that next level.
Well, that's right, Terry. But one of the crucial elements in pair skating is chemistry, and that sometimes takes years to develop. It helps if you're married like many of the Russian couples, or if you're brother and sister like two of our top pair teams here. Tiffany and Johnny Stiegler have had a magical chemistry with the audience since they were little kids. And this year, they've matured and lost none of that spark. The other brother and sister team, Danielle and Steve Hartzell, have always been strong technically, but have struggled to really connect with an audience. And this year's short program is finally moving them in the right direction. And Dick, Kyoko Ina has won this event in the past years with her partner Jason Dungeon, and she's back here this year with a new partner of only 8 months, John Zimmerman.
Well, look, if you really want to understand this event, it's sort of like understanding a plate of spaghetti. You got to keep all the strands clear. In the first place, Kyoko Ina dumped Jason Dungeon, who is here not as a competitor, but as a coach of Hartzell and Hartzell. They're competing against Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman. But remember, John Zimmerman used to skate with Stephanie Stiegler, who is the older sister of Johnny and Tiffany Stiegler. Now, they are coached by none other than Irina Rodnina, the great Russian pair skating champion, who used to compete against Tamara Moskvina, the other great Russian pair skating champion and coach, who is coaching none other than Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman. And don't ask me to repeat that.
Is this the pairs event or all my children? It makes you wonder at times. There is Kyoko Ina, she and John Zimmerman, the favorites here in the pairs competition. And we take a look right now at the 8 required elements in the short program. A failure to complete any one of these elements and points are deducted. And by the way, it accounts for 1/3 of the total score.
For Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman.
Back inside the Delta Center, the pairs short program continues right now with the favorites, Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman. But they are a new team, and there is quite a bit of unknown.
The music, Don Quixote.
Forward crossover. Their first move, side-by-side triple toe loop. Nicely done. That's a good start. Now coming up, watch the height she gets in this split double twist. And how gentle he puts her down onto the ice. A save on that landing of that throw, triple Salchow. Very determined.
She gets very good position there, as she does. He's really the question mark from a technical point of view, but a very dramatic skater. She is less dramatic, but much more secure, technically.
Well, she also competed in singles at the national level and did quite well. And then also the added confidence of having won this event in previous years with another partner gives a confidence to this pair.
Kyoko and Jason Dungeon, the 2-time winners of this event. And this pair has enjoyed success this year, but there has been inconsistency. A 2nd and a 3rd place at Grand Prix events, but also a 5th place finish at Skate America.
But they do have a very nice flair.
This music's been used by every dancer in every dance competition in the world, as well as by great skaters like John Curry and so so many others. This move, a typical Tamara Mosvina move. Not very attractive, but very spectacular.
Good job.
Good performance.
And there is Tamara Mosvina, who says there's no hurry. They're pointing towards 2002 and the Olympics right here in Salt Lake City.
Remember, she represents the St. Petersburg school of skating, which were the great classic examples of which were the Protopopovs. The Moscow school, which is represented by Irina Rodnina, is a much more athletic and a strong kind. Gordieva and Grinkov is a much different kind of style. The two styles compete against each other, if that doesn't get too complicated.
And this is the double twist. Watch the height as she taps in. He throws her up very gently and lands just so smooth, very much in control. And this was spectacular, how she saved this throw. Triple Salchow gets great height, good speed, nice in the air, but she lands on her inside edge and very low in the knee, but she saved that throw. Very determined landing.
She should have checked her right arm, and that would have helped her stabilize the landing.
The judges mark for Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman IV for required elements. 5.3.
And now the march says Kyoko and John sit next to Tamara Mosvina and her husband. The first set for required elements, 5.3 up to 5.6.
And, you know, her husband is a great Russian in his own right in the skating world. It's quite a family.
And now the second set, Dick, for presentation in the 5.3 to 5.7 range.
Look at the variation there, but those are very solid marks. Very solid marks.
Well, those are the marks that the other skaters will have to shoot for. And on the ice next, Danielle and Steve Hartzell. The addition of Jason Dungeon to their coaching staff has provided new motivation.
Hartzell and Steve Hartzell.
The pair short program continues here in Salt Lake City, and taking the ice right now, one of the main contending teams, Danielle and Steve Hartzell, the junior national champions back in 1995, the junior world champions in 97.
Just to remind you, they are being coached by Johnny Johns as well as Jason Dungeon, the former partner of Kyoko Ina.
And this is a very nice short program. It complements their power and their energy and disguises their weaknesses. Now coming up is a side-by-side triple toe loop. Very nice. It looks very easy. I think he might have done a double and she did the triple.
Side-by-side camels. Remember, the importance in side-by-side spins is unison, turning at the same speed, the same position, the same movements and exits. That was a B+ for that spin combination.
And now their throw, triple Salchow, back inside takeoff, up she goes. A nicer, cleaner landing than what Kyoko Ina did. And this, I see an improvement in their transitions of these combinations here, spin moves. They're nice and quick.
They're a very strong pair. They're solid. They're athletic. They're very controlled. That steady improvement from year to year. I hope they keep at it because they have a great promise. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Very acrobatic kind of move. This number was choreographed by Alan Schramm, who is a very creative and artistic skater.
And for those of you who are cognoscenti, Alan Schramm is the choreographer of Laurent Sobel of France.
they skated very well.
You know, one of the things that was so good about that was the concept of the program, and in the first place was the choice of music, piano et voix rythmique. Now, that was a wonderful piece of music for their skating. It complemented them. It gave them a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it was very nice.
And not to overplay this, but you do have to think about Jason Dungeon and what's going through his mind. There he is on the left-hand side, the coach now, one of the coaches for Danielle and Steve Hartzell, and the former partner of Kyoko Ina.
Well, he's got to be with it. He's a good teacher as well as a good coach. Now, look at these side-by-side triple toe loops, which was intended to be. Let's count them. See the toe, 1, 2, 3. Yes, they are right. And very nice, very solid, very solid. And look at how he throws her in this salchow. Now look at the height, the straightness of the legs, and see how she checks that right arm? That is what Kyoko Ina did not do. And here in the overhead lift, watch her reach back now, tap the ice, and lift up. His arms go up as hers go down. Now watch her switch into this upright position, a star position, and down and out. Very solid and very nice. Good, good. And he likes it, too.
Well, we should point out, too, that they have defeated Ina and Zimmerman this year. They came in 4th at Skate America, and that was 1 place ahead of Ina and Zimmerman. Now the first set of marks for required elements.
And they look very, very strong.
5.7, 5.5.
There they are with their full set coaching staff, Johnny Johns, Mitch Moyer, and up in the back, Jason Dungeon on the right of your screen.
And now the second set, Dick, for presentation in the 5.4 to 5.8 range. And those are good enough to put them ahead of Ina and Zimmerman at this point.
Very strong, very powerful. I hope they continue because they're on the right track.
5.5 and 5.
Nothing but smiles all around in the Hartzell and Hartzell camp. Welcome back to Salt Lake City, along with Peggy Fleming, Dick Button, and Leslie Visser. I'm Terry Gannon. The Pair Short program continues now with 15-year-old Tiffany Stiegler and her 16-year-old brother, Johnny, from Manhattan Beach, California, 4th at last year's national championships and 4th at the recent Junior World Championships.
And they, too, are using the music Don Quixote.
And they have such flair and personality.
Oh, wow. Now, that should not cost them a great deal. It wasn't on a fall of one of the elements. It was a simple trip. It did not influence the rest of the program. And look at that gorgeous throw jump. That was brilliant. Did you see her legs, how tight they were?
Now they're side-by-side triple toe loops. Oh, and he had problems with that, but she did a fine one.
Now, that will hurt them because that's a missed element. But wasn't that a wonderful throw jump?
It was, after that tough beginning. Good spring to that double twist. She knows how to sell this choreography.
Tiffany showing no signs of a sprained ankle she suffered at the Junior Worlds in Zagreb.
Good position on his part.
And look at their unison.
They're working with Irina Rodnina and Elena Cherkasskaya, those who understand this kind of music, the way this pair fits into it. Good positioning, very nice. Oh, they're wonderful. Inside death spiral. Look at the arch of her back as she goes into it. She does not push up her fanny the way so many of the European pair skaters do. That was a very nice position.
This is where I see a lot of improvement, too. this pair spins. Watch the transition. Nice and smooth. They keep the speed going. And this final position, beautiful. Nice extension. And this final movement, jump. And just sailing off. No real final ending. Very inventive.
Well, they've been junior national champions, novice national champions, and may well be on their way to standing on the podium, which they have not yet done at the senior championships. Tiffany and Johnny Stieglitz.
Now, watching this opening steps right here, he trips. Now, that is a pure stumble. It really doesn't affect the choreography or the timing of the program, and he gets right back into it with this brilliant move. And look at her legs in the air, the way she was straight, tight, and in perfect position. I haven't seen a better one.
And this was her side-by-side triple toes. He had trouble with it, did not complete the revolutions. She did a beautiful one, though.
And, of course, that will cost them some points. But look at this. Now, watch her entire full line right there. If you can stop it, we'll see that entire lovely line. That's really beautiful. Now, watch her as she extends in it. Her back remains high. She does not force her fanny up into the air, as happens so many times in European pair skating and other pair skating. Look at the position there. Really first rate. That fall, unfortunately, or that miss on his part in the triple toe will cost them some points. Otherwise, they were just beautiful.
They were.
The judges' marks for Tiffany Stiegler and Johnny Stiegler for required
Unfortunately, no matter
elements.
what happens this week, they cannot go to the World Championships. Tiffany just turned 15 years of age. But now the first set of marks for required elements, 4.9 up to 5.2.
Yes, and that's the suffering of the one missed element, the required deduction. In this part of the competition, you cannot escape if you make a mistake on one of the 8 elements.
And presentation marks higher, but not high enough. The Stieglers right now in third place behind Ina and Zimmerman, who are in second, and the leaders are Hartzell and Hartzell. They're Hartzell and Hartzell, the pairs team that leads right now over Ina and Zimmerman, and Stiegler, the other brother-sister team in third place. But taking the ice right now, Natalie Blandis and James Peterson, a brand new pair. They've only been together since August of this past season.
The music, Limehouse Blues.
They're opening with a double twist. Nice height, not extreme. Nice throw, triple loop. With controlled landing, nice speed on the landing. And now they're side-by-side, triple toe loop. Oh, triple loop.
Look at how well she joined back into the choreography of the program without missing a beat. She just skated forward, hit it on the beat, and took off. One of the important things in considering how falls affect the program is how quickly you can get up and continue on in the course of the program. Some falls allow you just to remain on your back, sliding in the most uncompromising position, the most awkward positions.
But that's where good training habits come into play. If you train and practice doing your routine, if you fall, you get up as quickly as you can and keep going.
Well, if you fall on your back and you're on your shoulders with your feet high up in the air, spinning across the ice, I don't care how much you practice, you're in trouble getting back into the program.
Very difficult.
As if either of you ever fell.
Yeah, right.
By the way, on a personal level, I find this music very difficult to comprehend as a music for this pair skating couple. And it's they've only been skating a short period of time, these kind of steps are exceedingly difficult to do with great unison.
And here's their back inside death spiral. She has a very nice position, too. Good stretch. Very busy number.
Very busy music.
Yes.
Sort of hard to comment on that pair.
Yeah, it was hard to get into that number. The music was very distracting.
They were both at Nationals a year ago, but with different partners. And she, by the way, is only 16 years of age. Natalie Blandis and James Peterson.
And here is their throw triple loop that she did so well. Nice turning in the air. Real nice speed on the landing and good control. But then they had a disaster on the side-by-side triple loops. There's the back outside takeoff. She didn't complete the revolution.
And
I
he
think
only
he
did a
just
double.
did a double.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's a disaster.
And here are the judges' marks for Natalie Blandis and James Peterson for required elements.
And there they are with their coach, Peter Opegard. They trained, by the way, in Lake Arrowhead, California, same place as Michelle Kwan.
4.3.
First set of marks, 4.3 to 4.6.
4.5, 4.3.
Also at
and
Ice Castle,
4.5.
also some of the other
And their
pairs,
marks for
the pairs that trained with Irina
Mm-hmm.
Rodnina.
5.2, 5.1.
Presentation marks now, Dick,
4.8,
a little bit higher, but 4.5 up to 5.2. And so Blandis and Peterson in fourth place, right behind the Stieglitz.
Representing the University of Delaware Figure Skating Club in Newark, Delaware, and skating to Charles Granot's Dance of Perm, please welcome Laura Handy and J. Paul Benabose.
And here are 18-year-old Laura Handy and 21-year-old J. Paul Benabose in their second national championship on the senior level. They finished in sixth place a year ago. There was also a year in which they captured the silver medal at the Junior World Championships.
Now, as they skate this program, watch how she reaches back and toe picks. She doesn't. And therein lies some of their problems that they've been having in practice, at least. This will be a throw jump.
Triple Salchow. Good height and spring.
Straight leg.
Yes.
Very nice. The landing was a little difficult. Now watch again. Watch her reach back here. See, she doesn't.
But they completed them okay.
Yes, but that's not going to stand her in good stead in the long run. There was no stretch or real lift in that. It didn't sing.
But there's a very smooth quality about this pair team. They have good energy.
They're very well matched. If they can continue this and develop it, I mean, when you stop to realize that they have not been skating together for that long. Nice position.
They're back inside death spiral.
see, she's sinking in the leg a little bit,
Right.
which makes it not quite as attractive as some of the others.
She didn't make it look very easy. It looked very difficult. The idea in skating is to make it look easy and effortless.
Crowd certainly liked it.
A very strong performance for Laura Handy and Paul Binnebow. You know, they're really a very fine young couple. They're well matched. They're attractive on the ice. I think they have a great deal of potential as future champions. Now, look at this back inside Despar. Watch her bend. See how she sort of sits down into it with her fanny sticking out. That was the point that I raised that was absent from, for example, the Stieglitz back inside Despar. Now, watch here. Watch her reach back. She doesn't. See the foot bend? I'm sorry, a little bit further. A little bit further. Right there. You see that? Right in that spot there, she should be reaching much further back, or back to there. Almost like a pole vault. She didn't, and that is not going to stand her in good stead eventually.
And now the judges' marks, as they left the ice, if the audience marks counted, they would have had very high ones. Here the first set, required elements, 5.1 to 5.8, a wide range.
And those are very nice marks.
And their marks for presentation.
And now the marks for presentation,
5.4.
5.1 to 5.4, and that's good enough to jump the Stieglitz. They are now in third place. Handy and Binnebow is right behind Hartzell and Hartzell, Ina and Zimmerman.
5.1.
Okay, halftime.
Yep.
Hit. Well, here you guys.
Danielle and Steve Hartzell in the lead. For Kyoko, Ina, and John Zimmerman. And then Handy and Binnebow in third place ahead of the Stieglitz. And here are Tiffany Scott and Phillip Dulabon. She is 21 years of age, and he is 26 years old.
The music, Moon Dance by White Horse. Lasso lift. Now watch this. Turning dismount.
And now they're side by side, triple toes. Coming up next.
For the viewer who's just turned in, this doesn't mean that they have 3 toes, but 3 revolutions in this toe jump. She missed.
He did it.
Unfortunately, that will not stand them in good stead. Mandatory markdown of at least 4 to 5 tenths of a point.
Remember, there are 8 required elements in this short program, and it's worth 1/3 of the total score.
And now this throw, triple Salchow taking off from her back, inside edge. Oh,
She never
and
did.
she caught that edge.
Never got off the ice. They've had 2 of their 8 elements now end up in disaster. That's going to really push them down into the cellar.
In these positions not stretched enough, the spins are not fast enough, and the transitions are a little rough.
final move, this back death spiral. She has a nice turned over arch position. That descent into the death spiral is the hardest part of that entire element.
And coming out of it. You have to put just the same amount of energy into the entrance and the element and the exit.
Well, they won a bronze medal at the Junior National Championships in 1997. This their debut on the senior level. Tiffany Scott and Phillip Dulabon. Back to Salt Lake City in a moment.
Side-by-side triple toe loop. Watch the lean of her body, the direction that she goes in. Right there, you can see she is out this way, where he is in the correct position this way. And you cannot land a jump when you're falling in, when you're leaning in that position. And this was the problem they had in the throw. Watch her right foot, right there. It just skidded right out. She caught an edge. She missed the whole point, and that's disaster. The fact that she landed upright is to her credit.
4.1,
Even without any revolution.
4.5, 4.3,
Tiffany Scott and Phillip Dulabon. Now the first set of marks, required elements, 3.9 to 4.5.
4.6,
Obviously
5.2,
not as high
5.2,
as they were hoping for. The blank stares on their faces. The second set for presentation, 4.5 up to 5.2 for Scott and Dulabon.
They represent the Detroit Skating Club in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, and they'll be skating to an excerpt from the score to Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet. Let's have a warm welcome now for Larissa Spielberg and Craig Boudin Joe Wright.
Here are the bronze medalists from the 1998 Junior National Championships, 18-year-old Larissa Spielberg and 20-year-old Craig Joe Wright. And they skate in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, and one of their coaches, Jason Dungeon, who you saw earlier coaching the Hartzels.
Music, Romeo and Juliet.
And here they're doing side-by-side double axels. A little less difficult than the side-by-side triples. She obviously had trouble on her. She didn't get that lift in the air to complete the revolution. Nice double twist.
There's a speed and an excitement about this pair. I think the music helps it tremendously. They certainly have strength.
Good position in the air. Larissa, in the summer of '96, started pair skating, and she passed 4 junior pair tests in 10 days. So she's really new at this whole pair skating scene.
But got used to the pressure in a hurry.
Yes.
Quite nice unison there. Very difficult to keep the revolutions of the spins working simultaneously. They did that very nicely. That spiral, you see how she dropped into it without, again, wrinkling her body? That was a very nice stretch in that.
Well, they had some nice moments. I liked them.
Well, you know, anybody that skates to Romeo and Juliet has a leg up in my book. I think that music is so inspiring and so wonderful that I find it very dramatic for skating.
And this is the throw triple Salchow, where she ended up falling, but she was good in the air and just kind of gave up on the landing. She probably could have muscled that out with maybe more experience.
Now watch this back inside death spell. As she sinks into it right there, she is holding the arch of the back. It's not an A1 position, but it's awfully good in the fact that she doesn't break it.
And now, here
It's
are the
quite a little
judges'
bit different
marks
here
for Larissa
when she
Spielberg
right there
and
breaks
Craig
the arch
Dan
in getting
Joe
out of it.
For required elements.
Now the two sets of
4.3,
marks.
4.1.
The first one, 3.6 to 4.3. You see the trio behind, Johnny Johns, Mitch Moyer, and Jason Dungeon.
3.6 and 3.7.
Well, again, that's a young pair with a great deal of potential. I must say that underneath it all, I like them very much.
And the marks for presentation, 4.2 to 5.0, a wide range there. The judges not quite knowing what to make of them. Larissa Spielberg and Craig Joe Wright. And 17-year-old Jared Guzman. They've only been together since July of this past year. This is their first major competition together as a team.
Nice positions to start with.
Their styles seem to be matched very well. Good unison on the hair spin.
That's nice. Of course, the real test comes right here on the side-by-side jumps. They're planning triple Salchows. She blew it out, and he did too. What a shame.
I've been watching him practice this past week, and he's been doing very well in the practices. She's been having trouble on that particular jump.
For those history buffs in the world of skating, his mother was Jenny Walsh, a wonderful competitor and performer. She placed third in the United States National Championships in 1967 behind, who was it that won that year? Peggy Fleming.
Oh, yeah.
That Peggy woman won a few national championships, I think. 5 in all. Go ahead, Dick. Tell us how many you won.
I never won any of the ladies' championships.
Only 7 of the men.
It's the one event I didn't compete in.
Well, that looks nice and smooth. Nice double twist.
See, they have a very strong look to their skating. And look at the entrance here. She is sticking that fanny up a little bit. This is a move which seems to zero in on the fanny. They have a very strong quality to them.
It's beautiful body line and energy to their skating.
Yeah, they're nice.
I can see a lot of potential.
Can't you also see the influence of Jared's mother, Jenny Walsh,
Yes, she had quite a charisma with the audience.
and a flair,
She really did.
and he does too. Nice looking couple. You know, they skate well. They're well matched. Now, these side-by-side triple Salchows were disaster on both their parts. He even worse than she. She kind of fell out of it. He fell all over the ice. That's a disastrous quality.
4.6, 4.3, 4.7,
Jared has been here before. His former partner,
3.9,
Natalie Flandis. They've competed on the senior level. She's in 5th place right now with a new partner, James Peterson. But the marks from Megarian and Guzman Required elements, 3.6 up to 4.6.
And that's a problem.
5.1.
You know, they just can't make those mistakes and expect to perform a place well.
Their coach, Peter Gordon, alongside. Presentation, another wide range, 4.2 up to 5.1. And that puts them in 7th place overall.
I must say I like them.
This concludes the championship pair short.
But it's Danielle and Steve Hartzell who are the leaders, just ahead of Ina and Zimmerman. They've got some work to do going for the gold. Handy and Binabos in 3rd ahead of the Stieglitz. And on down the line, McGarian and Guzman ahead of Spielberg and Joe Wright heading into the free skate. Right now, the leaders have joined Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Terry, it's been a big year for these two. For Danielle, probably better than the senior prom. Danielle, you look so confident out there. What have you two worked on?
Basically, this year, we've worked a lot on just our skating and relating to one another, and we've trained extra hard. So I think our confidence comes from being so trained.
Well, it shows. And for you, it's so unusual for a guy, Steve, to have a grab in the spiral sequence. How hard do you have to work on that?
Well, it was just one of those things I just kind of came across. I worked really hard on my stretching and flexibility for the past couple of years, and this is something I've been able to do.
Well, very impressive so far. Congratulations. Back to you, Terry.